अमृतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। धर्मोत्पापनिचयश्रुतयस्तपांसि ब्रह्मादिकीटपतगावधयश्च जीवा यद्दत्र मात्रविभव प्रकटप्रभाव
गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि।
यस्त्वेन्द्रगोपमथवेन्द्र अहो स्वकर्मा बन्धानुरूपफलभाजनमातनोति कर्माणि निद्रहति किन्तु च भक्तिभाजां गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यं क्रोधकामसहजप्रणयादिभीति वात्सल्यमोहगुरुगौरवसेव्यभावे सञ्चिन्त्य तस्य सदृशीं तनुमापुरेते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। श्रिया कान्ता कान्तः परमपुरुषा कल्पतरवो ध्रुमा भूमिश्चिन्तामणि गणमयी तोयममृतं कथा गानं नाट्यं गमनपि मंशी प्रियसखी चिदानन्दं ज्योति परमपि तदास्वाद्यमपि च स यत्र क्षीराब्धि स्रवति सुरभिः सुमहान् निमेषाधार्घ्यो वा व्रजति नहि यत्रापि समय भजे श्वेतद्वीपं तमहमीय गोलोकमिति यं विदन्तस्ते सन्ताक्षितिविरलचारा कतिपये। श्री ब्रह्म संहिता की।
Hare Krishna. A very warm welcome to all the devotees to our Sunday Feast program today. So we'll begin with Sunday Feast Bhagavatam class, and today's speaker is His Grace Vishwarup Prabhu. This class will be relayed live on Radha Gopinath media channel on YouTube, both in English as well as in Hindi. Also the class will be relayed live on 106 FM in English and 89 FM in Hindi. After that at 10 a.m. We will have our second kirtan, and today's kirtan will be led by His Grace Shadbhuj Prabhu. Due to the ongoing temple renovation work and space constraints in temple, serving full prasadam during Sunday feast has been temporarily paused. Only sweet prasadam will be served to all, and we appreciate your understanding and patience in this matter as we progress towards improving the temple facilities for everyone's benefit. Bhaktivedanta Academy for Culture and Education, BASE, announces the following courses. There is Bhakti Vaibhav course in English. This eligibility for this course is minimum daily rounds of 16, you have to chant minimum 16 rounds, and also completion of Bhakti Shastri course. The teachers for this course are Nandadulal Prabhuji, Purushottam Prabhuji, Radhika Vallabh Prabhuji, Braj Mohan Prabhuji, Pavaneshwar Prabhuji, and Shrikant Krishna Prabhuji. This course will be held online every Sunday between 3 and 5 p.m. So please note, and this will be on Zoom, only online. There is a 5 sessions teachers training course, part 1 in English, which is being held from 17th of September. The trainer for this course is His Grace Narsimha Tirtha Prabhuji. For registration and further details, please contact there is a QR code on the poster which is displayed on the ground floor on the temple notice board. And also you can visit course.iskonchowpatty.com, the website for registrations. As part of Bhadra Purnima 2025, ISKCON Chowpatty is organizing Shri Narsimha Shanti Mahayagna. So this is on the day of Bhadra Purnima, which is on 7th of September, between 2 and 4 p.m. Please join us for this special event to create auspiciousness in all our activities and overall well-being of everyone's life by the mercy of Lord Narsimha Dev. Donations will be used to distribute Bhagavatam sets to the needy. Also, a special discount is being offered, and this discount will be available only till 7th of September on Srimad Bhagwatam sets. So those who would want to own the Srimad Bhagwatam sets, there's a special discount, almost 40-50% discount, which is available across different languages. So it is available in 9 different languages. And please use this opportunity and occasion to buy and distribute Srimad Bhagwatam sets. ISKCON Chowpatty has launched a mobile app to make our daily life easier for access to all the programs happening in the temple. This is a user-friendly interface has an enhanced features to know all about the temple activities, which include daily darshan, festival updates, daily Bhagavatam classes, inspiring lectures, Vaishnav events, seamless donations, as well as 360 darshan diving. So the QR codes for this app are displayed on the flex boards, the standees in temple courtyard. So kindly click on those QR codes. The name of the app is ISKCON Chowpatty. Radhika Das, he is a famous kirtaniya and musician from United Kingdom. He is going to perform ecstatic kirtan today in temple between 4 and 6 p.m. So this will be in temple hall for the pleasure of their lordships. Devotees are requested to attend in large numbers to participate in this ecstatic kirtan. Some general announcements: please do not leave your children unattended in temples, especially in areas where caution signs are indicated. Certain areas are unsafe for children, so please be vigilant and educate them from do's and don'ts. A humble request to all the devotees to kindly keep their mobile phones on silent mode when the class is on. Hare Krishna. Let us extend a warm welcome to our speaker, His Grace Vishwarup Prabhu, by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna. थोड़ा आवाज बढ़ो. जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी. गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना. यमुना तीरावनचारी. यमुना तीरावनचारी. जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी. जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी. जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे. हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की, श्री श्री गौर निताई की, श्री श्री गोपाल जी नाम महाराज की, श्री राधा गोपीजन वल्लभ की। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 8, entitled Manifestation of Brahma from Vishnu. Text number 16 and 17. Tasya sacha chambhoruha karnikaya mavastito lokamapashyamanaha Parikraman vyomni vivrutta netrash Chatvari lebhe nudisham mukhani Tasyam sachambo ruha karnikaya Avastito lokamapashyamanaha Parikraman vyomni vivrutta netra Chatvari lebhe nudisham mukhani Tasyam sachambo ruha karnikayam Avastito lokamashapa apashyamanaha Parikraman vyomni vivrutta netras Chatvari lebhe nudisham mukhani Nidisham mukhani Avastito lokama apashyamana Parikraman vyomni vivrutta netram Chatvari lebhe anudisham mukhani. Ladies, Matajis. Parikraman vyomni vivrutta netram Chatvari lebhe nudisham mukhani. Ladies. Tasyam sachambho ruhakarnikayam Avastito lokam apashyamanaha Parikraman vyomni vivrutta netrash Chatvari lebhe nudisham mukhani. Jai Ho. Thank you so much. Tasyam, in that, cha and ambaha, water, ruha karnikayam, whirl of the lotus, avastitaha, being situated, lokam, the world, apashyamanaha, without being able to see, parikraman, circumambulating, vyomni, in the space, vivrutta netraha, while moving the eyes, chatvari, four, lebhe, achieved, anudisham, in terms of direction, Mukhani, heads. Translation: Brahma, born out of the lotus flower, could not see the world, although he was situated in the whirl of the lotus. He therefore circumambulated all the space. While moving his eyes in all directions, he achieved 4 heads in terms of the 4 directions. Next verse. I will only read, you don't read. Tasmadyugandashvasana avakurna jalormi chakrat salidat viruddham upashritaha kanjam yuloka tattvam natmanam adhividad adidevaha. Translation: Lord Brahma, situated in that lotus, could not perfectly understand the creation, the lotus or himself. At the end of the millennium, the air of devastation began to move the water and the lotus in great circular waves. Purport: Lord Brahma was perplexed about his creation, the lotus and the world. Even though he tried to understand them for 1 millennium, it's a long time. He was trying to understand it for 1 millennium, which is beyond calculation in the solar years of human beings. No one, therefore, can know the mystery of the creation and the cosmic manifestation simply by mental speculation. The human being is so limited in his capacity that without the help of the Supreme, he can hardly understand the mystery of the will of the Lord in terms of creation, continuance and destruction. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Ho. So this is the 3rd canto, 8th chapter, where creation is being described and how Lord Brahma appeared is also described. So before we started reading the translation, you all were reciting the beautiful verse and was sounding so beautiful. So I was just thinking that when Ranganath Bhatta Goswami was there in Vrindavan, taking care of Radha Govind deities, he would sing Srimad Bhagwatam in 6 different styles of tunes. And to just hear him singing Srimad Bhagwatam, not reading, not reciting, singing, he would sing, because all the spiritual literatures are basically songs. They are kavya, mahakavya. So they can be read, they can be recited, but they also can be sung. So many thousands of great sages would come to Vrindavan simply to hear him singing Srimad Bhagwatam. That is called as chanda. Chanda means the different kind of tunes in which different verses of Srimad Bhagwatam are to be sung. There are some 2-liners and there are long 4-liners, and we sing them differently. And it is said that even if we just sing these verses or just recite these verses with great faith, concentration and devotion, Lord Shiva says it will lead you to ultimate purification and liberation from the birth and death, cycles of birth and death. But Lord Shiva is, there's a book called Bhagavat Mahatmya, in which Lord Shiva is describing the glories of Srimad Bhagwatam to his wife Parvati. In that he says even 1/4 of verse, if we recite, understand and apply to our life, that can take us back to Godhead. And he also speaks about Bhagavad Gita, glories of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And there also he says, out of 700 Bhagavad Gita shlokas, if 1/4 of one shloka, if we understand and we practice in our life, we can go back to Godhead. Hari Bol. That is why some people may think that Yeah, it's not yet started. The class is not started. The shloka is going on. I will go when the class will start. Somebody will say, this Radha Madhav is going on. I can do something. But even Radha Madhav is not placed unpurposefully. Radha Madhav's song is the window to the spiritual world, written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It just sets the right mood. And if you sing Radha Madhav with each word and with each meaning of each word, thinking about that meaning of each word, if you sing Radha Madhav, you will be in the spiritual world. So Srila Prabhupada has made the details of the morning program in such a way that every item is important. No item is option or skippable. Only thing is we have to put our hearts. It is also said that Srila Prabhupada implemented 42 out of the 64 items of bhakti as narrated by Rupa Goswami in the morning program itself. Mangalarti to Prasadam. Prasadam included, don't worry. So, 42 items of the 64 items are already included. If we just attentively attend and follow the morning program. So anyways, Srimad Bhagwatam also is the topmost of all literatures. Even one literature is enough to take us back to Godhead. So this 8th chapter, the background is like this. Maitreya Muni is talking to Vidura. And first thing he does in this chapter is he remembers his Sampradaya and his Guru Maharaj. So what we understand from that is whenever there is an opportunity to discuss transcendental knowledge or guide somebody in spiritual path or any spiritual counseling, we must remember our Guru Maharaj and our Guru Parampara. That's why before starting to discuss this divine subject with Vidura, Maitreya Muni remembers his Guru and his Parampara. So he explains, there are two Paramparas mainly. One Parampara is Sri Krishna enlightening Brahma within the heart. Tene Brahma Radaya Adikavaye. And then Brahma in turn narrates to Narad Muni. Narad Muni tells to Vyasadeva and Vyasadeva to Shukadeva and Shukadeva for so on. And second Parampara is Lord Anantashesh Sankarshan, Sankarshan Bhagavan. He was one time asked questions by Sanat Kumar. And then Sankarshan Bhagavan explains the science of Bhagavatam to Sanat Kumar. And then Sankhyayana, the great Rishi, met Sanat Kumar and asked similar question. Sanat Kumar very humbly transmitted all the knowledge which he heard from Sankarshan Bhagavan. And then Sankhyayana had a disciple, many disciples, but two prominent disciples of Sankhya Rishi were Parashar Muni and Brahaspati. And in turn, Brahaspati became the guru of all demigods. See, they're very powerful positions. And Parashar begot Vyasa Muni, the very incarnation of knowledge of Krishna, the opulence of knowledge of Krishna, incarnated as Vyasadeva. And Parashar Muni gave birth to him in a very mysterious and divine way in the middle of Yamuna. And then Parashar also was guru of Maitreya Muni. That is how the link is there here. Maitreya Muni took initiation from Parashar Muni. So Maitreya Muni and Vyasa Muni, they were also friends. And they were also god brothers. And thus Vidura is now being told or explained or guided by Maitreya Muni. This is how the second parampara is. So Maitreya Muni mentions this and then he begins his narration. So, since time I am preparing this verse, maybe many opportunities were to give lectures. So, now when I am sitting for the lecture, I am remembering all the gurus in the hierarchy, like our Guru Maharaj, then Srila Prabhupada, then Bhaktisiddhanji, then Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then Krishna, Jagannath Das Babaji, and then Madhavendra Puri, and then Ishwar Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Madhvacharya, Vyasadev, and Narad Muni, and Brahma, and Sri Krishna. How much time it took? Nothing. But when you do this remembrance with a prayer in the heart, then all the empowerment that you need to enlighten people whom we are speaking to comes to us, not because of our greatness, but by their grace, by their kindness. Point to note. So then Maitreya Muni begins his narration. He says there was a time for devastation. Everything was getting devastated. As the universe, it periodically gets devastated and again gets regenerated. Okay? And there is something called as Mahapralaya and there is something called as Mini Pralaya. At the end of the 4 yugas, Chaturyugi, there is a Mini Pralaya. That means the Stavara, the visible creation doesn't get destroyed, but the Chara creation, that means the living entities, the species, they get all destroyed. And there are 5 ways of destruction. One is by, for you to understand easily is Vayu destruction. The wind becomes so overwhelmingly powerful that the Jiva Srishti gets destroyed. Or the Jala Pralaya, that means the water becomes so prominently overwhelming by Samvartaka clouds that up to 1000 kilometers there is water collection on the earth. How much was the maximum water collection these days, last few days? Maybe waist deep or a chest deep. Huh? And we were thinking it was too much. But at the time of devastation, Mini Pralaya, Jala Pralaya, there is only 1000 kilometers of water on the surface of earth. And then 12 Adityas come and they give heat at the time, right time, and then all water is evaporated. And again the Jiva Srishti begins. So like that, Panchamahabhutas can be overwhelming at times at the desire of Krishna, and the Mini Pralaya can take place. In this meantime, when there is a Mini Pralaya, then all the living entities on that particular planet, or you can say Brahmanda also, all of them lose their material bodies, their gross bodies, and the soul and the subtle body, they all get into the body of Garbhotaka Shayi Vishnu. Even Brahma also thus enters the body of Garbhotaka Shayi Vishnu. And they still have desire to perform activities and still have desire to get fruits of the activities, that is Karma Kanda. And they are harboring still the desire to live in the material life. So it says that because of that, the body of Garbhodak Shayi Vishnu appears blue. So, and then Vishnu goes to sleep. All living entities and their subtle bodies are aggregated within the body of Vishnu, who is sleeping. And due to the aggregate of the desires and the karma and the desire for the fruitive activities of all the Nidrista Jiva, the sleeping Jivas who are now in the subtle form in the body of Garbhodaka Shayi Vishnu, the body of Vishnu appears blue. The Lord then lays down in like that 4000 yugas. 4000 yugas. That is 1000 cycles of 4 yugas. That is 12 hours of Brahma. So everything is very significantly scientifically connected. After the 12 hours of sleep of Brahma for his night time, then the Kala Shakti, the external potency of the Lord, which is actually the mode of passion, or the activity which inspires Karma Kanda. What is Kala Shakti? It's a little technical. Kala Shakti is external potency of the Lord, at the same time mode of passion, at the same time an inspiration to perform fruitive activities, which is also can be understood by Rajoguna, mode of passion, right? So by Kala Shakti what happens? The Sukshma Bija, the subtle seed of creation, gets agitated and makes its way through the abdomen of Vishnu, through the navel, as the bud of the lotus. Have you seen how the lotus flower grows anytime? Closely? this small bud in the beginning, very small bud attached to the stem of the beginning. So this way, the seed of creation makes its way through the abdomen of the Lord, through the navel as a bud. And then it grows into the lotus flower manifested outside. Okay? First as bud, then as lotus flower. Then the Lord enters the lotus flower as Paramatma. This is very important. Before even Brahma appears on the lotus, this Garbhodakshai Vishnu himself enters through the stem or the stalk of the lotus as Paramatma to invigorate the creation. Till this point, Mahavishnu only is creating everything. That is called as Prathama Sarga, the primary creation. And from this point onwards, the end point of the first Sarga is Brahma's birth. After Brahma's birth, then he takes over and there is secondary creation. That is called Upasarga. Upasarga means living entities, all living entities, species, creation, variety of Prajapati activities, all those things are done by Brahma. That is called as Visarga or Upasarga. So, after Paramatma's entrance and invigoration, the Swayambhu Brahma takes birth. Before that, lotus is born, and in the whirl of the lotus, Brahma gets born. Brahma is called Swayambhu because he has no mother. Generally, the rule of material world is any living entity has to come, he has to have a mother and father. Whether insects or whether mammals or whether birds, there are two people, female and male, and by the union of them, the living entity takes birth. But the first very creation, living being, Brahma, there is a breakage of the rule. What do you call that? Apavad. Huh? Exception to the rule. So he is called Swayambhu, the first living entity. We can always understand it as the first citizen of the whole Brahmanda. And then, the typical nature of the living entity when it is or he is born. What is the typical nature? When our child is born, what is the situation? Crying, complete bewilderment, no knowledge, what is going in, what is coming out, where is it is coming out, nobody knows. It's only crying, and then something comes to the mouth and you start sucking and some nutrition comes, so you get attached to that, and further when you get hungry again, you cry again, do the same thing, and that's how our life begins with confusion. It's not a good thing actually. But this is the fruit of the desire to live independently of the Lord, which begins with confusion, unfortunately. So, same thing happened to Brahma also. It's not happening with you and me only, or a puppy, or a baby rabbit. Every living entity, when it is born in the material world, is completely in confusion. It needs shelter, it needs guidance, it needs enlightenment, it needs inspiration. Otherwise, what is there to continue? See, Brahma, at least when you and me are born, there are people around, clapping and chanting and celebrating. But when Brahma is born, you can imagine there is nobody. And he is not in one 700 square feet apartment. He is in the vast creation. And he is only seeing water and water everywhere of devastation. So it's completely bewildered. Sometimes you should travel in the ocean, you'll understand. When you stand at the balcony of the boat, you feel totally lost because you see all sides only water. There's nothing else. And it's very fearful. Sometimes you go and stand on the top of the mountain, you feel frustrated because it's only mountain, stone and stone and stone and stone everywhere. You feel no variegatedness. You don't see any taste or any rasa in that. So you can imagine Brahma's position. He is only a single person there. Plus no knowledge, full ignorance, full confusion, full vibhrama. Then he thought, let me find out. So he just goes all the way down to the stalk, till the beginning of the stalk of the lotus. But he doesn't find anything which is connecting to him. I mean, he sees many things, but he doesn't understand anything. The relevance, the connection, what is my duty, what is my role, who am I? Nothing he understands. So after doing that for 1 millennium, His millennium, not our millennium. But as soon as he is born, his calculation of time has started. Then he decides, and in the meantime, when he is looking in all four directions, frantically is looking, Bhagavatam explains that gave him 4 heads. Because of 4 directions. Very interesting, you know. Why we don't know. Why not 8? Because he must have seen in all directions, up and down also. Why not 10? Totally there are how many directions? There can be 4, there can be 10. And there are millions of directions also. That was proved in Dwarka Leela when Brahmas with millions of heads also came there. 10 heads, 20 heads, 1,000 heads, 10,000 heads, 1 million heads, and crores of and billions of heads also Brahmaji came, and they were not looking ugly, they were looking very beautiful. More the heads, more the beauty. And our Brahma with 4 heads were feeling like a mosquito, most insignificant, and you know, he was so humbled. That was the purpose of the Lord, of course. So, so at the end of this 1 millennium of search, he decides, okay, enough is enough, let me sit down and do meditation. So Prabhupada very beautifully explains that this is the result of searching on your own, which is also termed as mental speculation. That means the way you are searching, that is basically mental speculation. That is called as aroha. Aroha means you are trying to go upward and search everywhere. But the real knowledge and enlightenment comes because of avaroha process of knowledge. When the knowledge which is there, ready-made, comes down to you and is handed over to you. You're not trying to understand it by tits and bits, by researching. Like how the child is given some equipment, suppose in the hand, he is very curiously trying to break it and bang it, but in the process the equipment gets spoiled. But if the grown-up child is there and you give manual, then the grown-up child will read the manual and operate the equipment and be happy about it, like that. So this Brahmaji sat for meditation, and Srila Prabhupada explained for 100 Brahma's years or 1,000 Swarga, Deva Varsha, he meditated, and then he gives a description of that. Our 30 days is our 1 month, and 6 months of ours is 1 day of Brahma, or 1 day of demigod, not Brahma. Did you understand? 30 days a month into 6 months, 180 days is 1 day of demigods like Indra. And there are such 30 days, they are 1 month. And such 12 months makes it their 1 year. And such 100 years they live. And what is Brahma's calculation? 4 yugas into 1,000 is equal to Brahma's day, half day. Not full day, sir, half day. Repeat again, okay? 4 yugas is 43 lakhs 20,000 years. That is not even a day. You multiply by 1,000, that becomes half day of Brahma. Then there is half such day of night of Brahma. That's why I said 4,000 yugas. This becomes 1 day of Brahma. And such 30 days a month, such 12 months a year, such 100 years Brahma lives. How much is that? Something like 311 trillion years. So this is like completely beyond our brain. Our brain is so tiny, we can only put the zeros on the paper and have a long paper and go on putting zeros. That's your choice, or your freedom, or your capacity. But beyond that, understanding is impossible. How can one live so long? So, at the end of such a long meditation, Brahma had some wonderful experiences, which we will narrate today. Interestingly, if you study Srimad Bhagwatam very scrutinizingly and very observantly and very keenly, intently, you will understand, like when you see a building from drone level, then you understand there are many floors and each floor has many flats and there is a basement and there are terrace and there is water tanks over that and there are towers to absorb the lightning. You can see many things at the bird's eye view. But when you are on a particular floor, you will have a limited view. So Srimad Bhagavatam, if you understand scrutinizingly, you will come to know that this kind of thing happened in second canto also. In second canto, 9th chapter, the similar thing is explained. So two times the Lord has, it is explained that two times the Lord has appeared to Brahma. How in second chapter he appeared, I will explain first before we explain the third canto one. So in second canto, 9th chapter, 6th verse, it is said, part of the verse is, Parsheshu yat shodasham ekavimsham. So shodasham means 16. Ekavimsham means 21. Vimsham means 20, ekavimsham means 21. So when we speak, there is something called as talavya varna. The words that we utter or pronounce by touching our tongue to the talu. Talu is what? Palate. Talavyam varna. So whatever we la is talavya. Ta is talavya. Because we are touching our tongue to the palate. And there is something called as sparsha varna. We are only touching our lips. That is pa. Okay? Just simple, a little bit interesting, titillating information from Sanskrit. So 16th of the sparsha varna is ta. When you say ta, you are not actually touching the palate, but you are touching the teeth up front. Upper teeth, you can say ta. And 21st sparsha varna is pa. You are not even touching the teeth, you are only touching the lips. Pa. Right? So these two words were vibrated by somebody, some unknown entity, in a very divine way. And instead of uttering 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, the voice uttered only 16th and 21st word. So what it became? Tapa. Tapa. And this Brahmaji heard two times before he sat down and began his meditation. He got the sound vibration guidance or inspiration by that sound. And he sat for, he understood the meaning, because one is utterance, another is meaning, na? One is the only syllable, and the second thing, when they come together, they create a meaning. So that meaning was understood by Brahma. Tapaha, that means I am supposed to perform austerities. So imagine the life of Brahma, such a great entity. You cannot imagine, if you think of us, ourselves, Brahma is unimaginable personality. Even in the material world, in the material Brahmanda creation, his personality is magnanimous. His capability, his intelligence, the resources that he has given, the capability of multiplication and permutation, combination and creation that he has got is amazing. The brain, the power, the authority, the respect that he has. In the course of time, of course, respect comes from others. Na? So others have to be there to create respect. So he creates them, and then the respect comes. So Prabhupada very beautifully explains here, if for everything to do in spiritual life, you don't need a person to tell you all the time. The sound is enough. Huh? Self-realization is not achieved through sense gratification with the developed senses that we have. Generally, when we get something higher, like mobile, higher version, what do you want to do? Immediately explore and want to do, use there's one app which shows you as you are, then shows you when you will be at 80 years old. So you will keep on doing, you bring a wife, you bring a child, everybody, and see how you look at 80 years of age. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is not like tapaha, by the way. This doesn't feel like performing austerities. So something like this appeared to Lord Brahma, tapaha. So what I was telling you, when there is developed indriyas available to us in the human being form, the natural tendency without any guidance is to explore and enjoy. Let us enjoy now. As animals, we couldn't enjoy this. Now we can enjoy. But self-realization, which is the purpose of the human life, you don't get that by satisfying your senses to sense gratification. It is in fact achieved by restricting the senses which are developed and by performing tapa. And what happens is, if you utilize those developed senses into gratification, then they become weaker and weaker and weaker. They lose their sharpness and acumen. But as you restrict them, which is primarily not very pleasing to restrict, not enjoy, but when restrict them, immediately strength starts coming. So Brahmaji is trying to explain to you that first thing, you don't need to have a person. Show me the person, then I'll follow. If there is an instruction which is relevant, one need not have the person who is telling, or one who is vibrating the sound. That's what is mentioned in this verse. Taking the path of tapa is the second birth for the human beings. So another important line is there. Especially for those who are accepting initiation or who are becoming a disciple. For them, this process of tapa is the second birth. Gives meaning to the birth. First birth is from seminal origin, mother and father. But this birth is most important. This birth is meant for actually the real purpose. So taking to the path of tapa is second birth of human beings, and it's called as upashrunota. Upashrunota is also something like upanayana. And the upashrunota, upanayana, the purpose is to go closer to Guru and to Krishna. Upa means closer, and to see or to go closer. That is why we do upanayana samskar, to get the child to be closer to the Lord. Also, one important thing is that as soon as the word tapaha was uttered, it became the beauty and the wealth of Brahmanas and the renounced order of people. I'll repeat again. Brahmanas were not maybe renounced. They have wife, children, everything, property. And renounced people are renounced people. They leave everything and go. But both these people, one is a Grahastha type of personality, one is the renounced order of personality. Both these have one thing in common. That is tapa. So if some of you and some of us have accepted Brahman initiation, we have to understand the primary foundation of our life now is tapa. Not indulgence, not giving into indulgence with senses, but now to start controlling the senses under the guidance of the spiritual authority. So Brahma, Prabhupada explains very distinctly, very beautiful. I urge all of you that please read 2nd Canto, 9th chapter in detail at leisure, when you are free mentally, physically, and relax. You read this, such a beautiful explanation. And fortunately, in this second point, 2.9 only, there is Chatushloki Bhagwatam. Chatushloki Bhagwatam is the 4 shlokas which actually later on Lord Vishnu vibrated in the heart of Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya. Adikavaya is Brahma, the original poet, the original creator. Because of his poetry of thoughts, the creation came into being. So it's also poetical creation. Very beautiful. So Brahma was initiated by Krishna into Krishna mantra, which is 18-lettered Krishna mantra. I was searching, I could not find the mantra, but we'll find sometime. And Prabhupada says if we follow the same path and procedure by accepting the path of tapa and mantra meditation, we can achieve all the perfection like Brahma, and we'll also achieve the power like Brahma. Of course, we don't want that power of Brahma, because after getting that power, Brahma is saying, I don't want that power. In the material world, till you get something, you want something. When you get that thing, then you don't want that thing, you want further thing. That is the typical nature of material life. And especially when you don't have something, you develop desire to have that thing. You work hard to get that thing and you achieve that thing. Till that time you have great attraction for that thing which you are working for. As soon as you get that thing, then you keep it aside and start looking for something higher than that. So all of us may be looking at the power of Brahma. What a beautiful power. But Brahma actually achieves that power, and then he thinks, my Lord, I want to become the stone on the way that reaches Vrindavan. We'll come to that point later on. So point here to note is we can achieve all that perfection like Brahma if we follow the process of tapa and mantra meditation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Brahma received all the enlightenment by these two things. Due to Brahma's correct vision, Brahma never made any distinction between the Vani and Bapu of the Lord. He accepted the Vani as good as the Lord, and this is a great lesson to all mankind, Srila Prabhupada says. The potency of Divya Dhani, the transcendental sound vibration, is never minimized because of absence of the person who is vibrating the sound. Again, the potency of the transcendental sound vibration is never minimized if there is absence of the person who is creating that sound vibration. That means one who is telling. One has to receive such Vani and instruction from the right source or right parampara. And when we receive such transcendental sound vibration or upadesha through right source, execution of the order of Guru. That means when we receive, we have to execute the order. When we execute that, or it is explained, how do you execute the order? By engaging your senses, your existence in the service of following the order. So execution of the order of the parampara or the Vani, or engaging the senses in execution of Guru Agya, is the real meaning of sense control. Srila Prabhupada is putting the words, so choicest words in place to give correct meaning of the purport that is meant to be understood by this verse. So what is the real meaning of Damana, Indriya Daman? Is not to just restrict them. Neti, 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 no non-veg, no feed, no meat eating, no this thing, no looking here and there, only look. The senses need engagement. Just by avoiding the senses from the objects is not going to help, because as you take the child, take the toy away from the child is going to simply cry. Because he wants that what you have snatched from him. But when you give a better toy to the child, he will immediately forget the previous toy and get immediately busy in the next toy. So how to create the Indriya Damana, or how to create peace in the mind of the child? By giving the child some engagement or some object to play with. The senses are controlled not by restricting them from the object. The senses are controlled by engaging them in service to the Lord. Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruttama. This point only Bhakti tells, please understand. Karma Kand, Jnana Kand, Yoga Kand, they only tell you neti, 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 don't do this, give up this, give up this, give up that. But Bhakti tells you, do this, do this, do this, do that. Positive instruction is there. That's why Bhakti path is very easy actually. Because we are not supposed to go away from the object of senses, give up family, give up my object of families, and the enjoyment items, and the house, and the vehicle, and the properties, all the Vishayas, go away from them, be renounced. No, we don't have to go to Himalayas to the cave. We can be wherever we are, but engage our senses in service to the Lord. Automatically, by the Lord's mercy, your senses are going to be controlled. When you try to control your senses by restricting them, inevitably you and me will fail. But when you engage your senses in the service of the Lord, or in pleasing the senses of the Lord, then the Lord will control your uncontrollable senses. Which is easier? Trying to find out some place on your own, or holding your mother's hand and just walking with her, and she will find a place for you. No need to see GPS, and no need to see right and left, and oh, GPS gave wrong direction. Just be with your mother who knows, hold her finger, and you reach the destination. So such penance or such tapa with full faith and sincerity made Brahma very powerful, that he became the creator of the universe. The penance of Brahma resulted in the pleasure of the Lord. The most important success is not in doing the tapa nicely, but fulfilling the purpose of the tapa. What is the purpose of tapa? Is to please the Lord. Not to get your own position higher, or you get more respect, that he is more renounced, he is more controlled, and he is very powerful in control. He has siddhis, he has perfections, mystic perfection. That is not the purpose of tapa. The sole purpose of tapa and any other activity in this life is to please the Lord. Samsiddhir haritoshanam. That is why Bhakti path is very wonderful, because it clears all the definitions very nicely. It doesn't create any confusions. It's to the point and no halfway information. Till the last point the information is there. You are performing tapa, you are getting a lot of power and a lot of teja, but you know why the teja is coming and what is the purpose of the teja. It's simply to please the Lord. The penance of Brahma resulted in pleasure of the Lord, and the pleased Lord revealed the darshan of Vaikuntha to Brahma. Now this is in second canto, the first way of giving darshan of the Lord. Now the Lord first only vibrated two words in the form of instruction. He didn't appear anywhere. It was me who gave you the sound. But after the performance of tapa, when tapa was successfully performed, the Lord gave him darshan of not only him, but of himself in Vaikuntha. And what is the position here? When the Lord revealed the Vaikuntha to Brahma, Brahma saw there is no misery. The most important first striking feature of Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha. Kuntha means misery. Vaikuntha means which is beyond misery. The first definition, understanding of Brahma was no misery. And second realization of Brahma was no fear was there. Material life means there is always some element of fear. Even if your topmost personality, including your Brahma, in material life, your material world, there will be an item of fear. So Brahma saw no fear, no misery. Brahma saw no Rajaguna, no Tamaguna. No passion, no ignorance. Then Brahma saw no influence of time. Kala was not present. Prabhupada says the time is inconspicuous by its absence in the spiritual world. And time is inconspicuous by its presence in the material world. And when time is in the material world, because it is effective in the material world, it shows its effects. Like you are young, you will be looking as old after some time. You are having black hair, it will be shown as grey hair sometime. You have good health, it will be shown as spoiling health or degrading health, like that. So time will decay everything. Time, I am the destroyer of all, or all and everything else also. Then he saw Sura Asura Archita, as per 2.9.10. Everyone worships the Lord in the Vaikuntha planet. Even the Asuras are worshipping the Lord. A very amazing description. Another thing he saw, everyone is four-armed. Obviously, at this time, Brahma is not observing Golok Vrindavan, which is very clear. He is at the Vaikuntha level. Everybody is Chaturbhuja, everybody is lotus-eyed, everybody is using a yellow garment, that is Pitambara. Everybody is always young, nobody is getting old. Everybody is effulgent and fully decorated with all the ornaments. And one thing which may interest all of us. He saw everybody surrounded by their own aeroplanes, which were brilliant as millions of suns. And they were owned by the inhabitants of Vaikuntha-vasis, I mean Vaikunthas. So you don't have to worry about the degradation or devaluation, or they get worn out, the equipments and vehicles here. The vehicles in Vaikuntha, they never get decayed because there is no time there to decay them. And everybody has one vehicle which you can fly with, and there is no closed chamber, it's all open, it's expandable, it goes with the speed of the mind. So Vaikuntha is too attractive actually. And it is said that all the people were blue in color, like the Lord in Vaikuntha. Lord is sitting on the throne with his wife Lakshmi. And there are many other beautiful ladies who are colored like lightning, Vidyut Ranga. So from distance it is looking like there are many clouds and some lightnings in between. Many men with blue color and many ladies in between with lightning color. So whole the Vaikuntha appeared like a big sky with dark clouds having lightning in between. How wonderful it is. And he saw Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasambhrama Sevyamano. So many Lakshmis were serving the Lord very beautifully, lovingly. And the Lord had 6 opulences like, strength, wisdom, beauty. The Lord was served by 4 things, that is Prakriti, Purusha, Mahat Tattva and Ahamkara. Then the Lord was served by 21 elements, 5 senses, 5 working senses, Pancha Mahabhuta, mind, and the objects of the 5 senses. Gandha, Rupa, Rasa, Shabda, Sparsha. The Lord is being served by everything. He is watching, Brahma is watching. And then after having enough darshan, the Lord started speaking. The Lord said, now, it was me who vibrated that word tapaha for you. And what Lord said after that is very, very significant. Lord said, tapaha is heart and soul for me. It is my heart and soul. Tapa is not different from me. I am same as tapa. So when we perform any austerities, not for ourselves, but when we perform austerities or some tapa to please the Lord, that tapa itself is the Lord. By performing some restrictive activities to senses for the pleasure of the Lord, you are actually associating with the Lord only. Before even achieving Him, you are already with Him in the form of, the subtle form of tapa. The Lord says, this tapa is not different from me. I am same as tapa. And then when Lord did a very wonderful thing, Lord shook His hands with Brahma. And Prabhupada makes very nice, funny comments on that. It's not that the way we shake hands with our people in the material world, like the prime ministers of different countries and presidents, they shake hands. And it is not like that. Prabhupada explains that the shaking of the hand of Lord Vishnu with Brahma was out of love, and especially out of Vatsalya Bhav love, out of parental love. The Lord touched him and empowered him. And through that touch, Brahma felt tremendous enlightenment, happiness and satisfaction because of the maternal, paternal love that Lord expressed through that. Brahma said, my seva, okay. So then the Lord shook his hands with Brahma, written as a friend, but then Prabhupada gives purport as a mother and father. Then Lord said, Var mango, please ask benediction. Because whenever the demigods or the Lord comes, they don't go without giving benediction. If you don't ask, they'll ask you. Ask benediction. Now what, the greatness of people is understood when they open their mouth. The fool is a great person till his mouth is shut. When the fool opens his mouth, you understand he's a fool. Till that time, he is great. So here, what Brahma is asking, so you and me will say, wait, Lord, give me 10 minutes, let me write down everything. I want a good wife, I want good children, I want good house, I want good vehicle, I want good servant, I want good facilities. Brahma's, you can see his consciousness right from the beginning. When he heard the word tapa in full confusion, also he was very humble and surrendered, immediately followed tapa. Who is speaking? Let me first see him, who is telling me. Immediately he surrendered and then he got a result also. And then the Lord who vibrated the sound is now asking, ask benediction. So he has all scope to ask anything. Like Hiranyakashipu was asked by Brahma, what do you want? So he said, not in the water, not in the fire, not in the earth, not on the sky, everything. No astra, no shastra, no morning and no evening, no human being, no animal, anything created by you. All kinds of big list he asked. That shows his consciousness. He is not a devotee. He wants to rule everybody and destroy everybody by the power that he is now achieving, going to achieve. Brahma had the same scope. He could have asked similar kind of benediction. What is he asking? Please hear carefully. I am given seva by you to create this vast, magnanimous creation, right? So there is a fear in my heart that while doing these great services that nobody else will be doing but me, what will happen to me? I will develop pride. So my Lord, my seva which I am doing to you, the seva that you have given me, please make sure that it doesn't make me proud. And what is this pride? It's not something that you have before you have 50,000 salary, now you got 2 lakh salary per month, and you have now 5 lakh salary per month. It's like you feel how great you feel and how you feel so proud. You don't even look at them now who are 50,000. Before that you are working with them. Now you just look down upon them and you feel you are so great and you're looking up only. This peanut things, property here and there and achievements, we are so becoming proud. What is Brahma's possible pride? He will start thinking, I am supreme only. The great possibility, because he is like himself in the whole Brahmanda. Beyond him is only Mahavishnu, or Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and beyond that is Mahavishnu. Everyone else except that one person in the Brahmanda is lower than him. And for them, he is creating substance, he is creating place to stay, he is creating everything, all resources, senses, everything. So the first thing will come to him, he is thinking out of his humility that I will start becoming proud as you only, as you. I think I am you. I will consider myself as supreme. So please save me from this pride of thinking that I am like you. This is Brahma. Sri Brahmaji Maharaj ki. So this is a discussion that took place. At the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam also it is mentioned, Tene Brahma Rudaya Adi Kavaye. Now we'll go to that. There are many times Brahma has done tapasya, and many times Brahma has got darshan of the Lord. Many times Lord has interacted with in different manner, and different pastimes have taken place. So 2.9.31, I think so, 33, 34, 35, 36. That is called Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And it is said that if you recite these 4 verses, you will get the benefit of reciting the whole Bhagavatam. And reciting whole Bhagavatam is also a very powerful activity, which you may not get time every day. That's why today we will take the activity of reciting the 4 verses. Okay? Try to hear carefully. Ahameva sa mevagre nanyadhyasat sadatparam paschadam yadetacha paschadaham yadetacha yovashisheta sosmyaham sosmyaham kritirtham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidya dadatmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha mama tad vidya datmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tama yatha mahanti bhutani bhuteshu chava cheshvanu pravishtani tatha teshu na teshvaham etavadeva jidnyasyam tattva jidyasu natmanaha अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम यस्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा. So 2.9.33, 34, 35, 36. 33, 34, 35, 36. Chatushloki Bhagavatam. You can also go home and the essence of the meaning is, at the beginning of creation, I am there. During the creation, only I am there. At the end of creation, I remain. Everything that you see powerful is a spark of the splendor of my splendor. Is my splendor, my spark, my glory. Like that, there is a essential, basic understanding of the Lord's personality is there. And with these 4 shlokas, it is explained Brahma got complete enlightenment of who is he, what is his position, what is his role, what is his seva, what is to be done. Everything he understood by these 4 shlokas. So hope that we also recite these verses and get the whole understanding. Who am I? What is my seva? What is the goal of my life? What is the perfection of life? How will I please my Lord? Everything is included in these 4 verses. Right now they are hidden, invisible. But you go on reading, reciting every day, bit by bit, all the realization will come upon your heart. But Brahma was very fortunate because he's not like us. He's a great personality. So, Lord even did not appear. That is now explained in the third canto. The Lord in this canto explanation appeared within the heart of Brahma. Before that he was seen sitting on the throne of Vaikuntha. Now he is seen as Sheshashayi Vishnu. Now he is lying on the bed made by Ananta Shesha, and he is four-armed Vishnu lying there. Before he was sitting with Lakshmi. Now he is lying down and Lakshmi is massaging his feet. That darshan he got in the heart. And he heard from the Lord discuss, and then 4 verses, and that gave him complete realization. So, our process is we read scriptures, we follow our Guru's order, we follow tapaha, we serve the devotees, we serve the deities, we hear the katha, chant the holy name, everything we do, and gradually, each and every verse becomes relevant to all of us. We come to know that this thing is practically applicable to my life. I saw that how it is. The Lord says, I am within your heart guiding you. Yes, Lord guided me. Now I believe that He is with me. So it's a long process. But Brahma's fortune was all the possible highest transcendental realizations were at once realized by Brahma. At once, everything, ready-made stock of realizations along with the knowledge was transplanted in the heart of Brahma. That is his fortune. That may not be possible for us. But the process is possible for us. Tapaha, mantra meditation, serving Vaishnava, serving the deities, hearing Krishna Katha, if we keep on doing and keep on studying scriptures, all the things that you keep reading will become relevant to you, will become practical and truth to you. Otherwise, when in the beginning of scriptures, when we read scriptures in the spiritual life, the scripture appears to be irrelevant. This is too obsolete. This is not applicable at this time. It is totally out of context. But as we follow the process, everything appears to be within the context. Everything becomes meaningful and relevant. And that is where the spiritual life starts giving taste. That is where the spiritual life becomes very tasty and very wonderful and attractive before it becomes obsolete to us. Because our senses are attached to the objects of the senses. So it becomes obsolete. When senses are restricted and sadhana is followed, the same senses will start giving you realization about the Lord. So senses only are there. There is no other fifth means or sixth means to find out. Through them what you have got is only the means. Through the senses only. So, in third canto now, the Lord appeared in Brahma's heart as Sheshashayi, and Brahma got all the realization. And Brahmaji, what is the nature of the realized soul? Once you get realization, what do? Immediately get into service. Immediately engage yourself in service. So one who is engaged in service is because of his realization. That is why he is engaging in service. And one who is just debating, that means he is not yet engaged in service. So he is still debating, karu ki nahi karu, is it right to do, not right to do, is it correct or not, am I following right path or not, all confusion, question, answers is there. But as soon as you engage yourself in seva, immediately you get realization. And when you get realization, you get more engaged in seva. When you get more engaged in seva, you get more realization. And this way you reach the perfection of realization. I can give example to you, without taking names. There were many medical students in the early ICAM times, chanting one round and only arguing with the speaker. Constantly asking this question, that question, medical college, how they are. We have a lot of brain, somehow. We feel we are cream of the society. So we have intelligence, we have to ask. So they used to ask and ask and ask. And no matter of whatever answer given to them would not satisfy them, would in fact create more weeds of more questions. And then they came to Barsana ICAM. And they served in Barsana ICAM. All questions vanished. 16 rounds started. And then Gaurang Prabhu said, now... And then Gauranga Prabhu said, now I will keep sending this medical student to ICAM every year. So that every week I give them lecture for, 52 weeks I give lecture. It doesn't cause even iota of effect on them. And 3 days of the ICAM will completely do my job of 2 years. They go as one rounder and come back as 16 rounder. How simple it is. What is the secret behind it? Till that time there was no engagement in seva. When you get engaged in seva, immediately priced, what do you call, priceless, the most priced realizations come in your heart. And when such kind of realizations come in your heart, you don't have to analyze and scrutinize. The experience of quenching of thirst when you drink water can't be written in an essay. What did I actually feel when I drank the water when I was thirsty? The experience itself is an experience. It cannot be debated or argued or elaborated. The experience is self-satisfying. So the experience of getting engaged in seva of Krishna is so self-satisfying that you may present him with arguments which is going to destroy his faith, but it will not get destroyed. Because that has now turned into nishtha. Nishtha can't be shaken. Shraddha can be shaken. But nishtha cannot be shaken. And nishtha can be achieved by faithfully and sincerely being engaged in service to Krishna, like Lord Brahma did. He's setting an example for us. Now we will, within remaining time, we'll briefly find out what Brahma did other times. Brahma also did tapasya when the Lord was pleased with him at the beginning of creation. And he said, my Lord, I am now Brahma, I have Brahma Loka, I have got many things. I also need to worship you. Please give me your Vigraha. So being pleased with him, Lord Vishnu gave him the Vigraha of Sri Ranganath ji. So Ranganath ji is the first deity of the universe which was worshipped by Brahma himself. Till the time Lord came back from, Lord Rama appeared in that particular, anyway, before that, Lord gave Ranganath ji and Brahma started worshipping. And then Brahma's creation, Vasishtha Muni also was there as Brahma's Purohit in Brahmaloka. Then Brahma created Shraddha Deva Manu, the first Manu, and he was sent on earth. So what happened? Shraddha Deva Manu is a great soul. So he said, my Lord, I am a king, you have sent me as a king. The king needs kingdom. I need divine kingdom. Before that he said, a king first needs a Purohit. Anytime this has crossed your mind, that any king leads a Purohit first. So then Brahma said, Vasishtha, you go, become his Purohit. Vasishtha said, no, I will not go to earthly planet. The Lord said, he tempted him. He said, I am going to appear in Shraddha Manu's Vamsha as Lord Ramchandra one day. And when I will come, you will have Simanto Nayana Samskar, you will do of my mother. You will do Jati Samskar, Medha Samskar, you will do Upanayana Samskar, you will do Vidyarambam, you will do Vivaha Samskar, you will do Rajabhishekam, everything you will do. He said, then I will go. So he went down. And then both of them came together, they discussed that we have a Purohit, so now we need kingdom. So both did tapasya, again pleased Brahma, and they said ki the celestial, they pleased Brahma, Brahma pleased Lord Vishnu, and the celestial Ayodhya Dham was planted on earth. Ayodhya Dham said, how will I be planted on the material planet? So Sudarshan Chakra was sent as a foundation base, and on that Ayodhya was established. And then Shraddha Manu said, now we have Purohit, we have Dham, now we need a deity to worship. See, the business of kingdom, ruling the kingdom has now started. This is all the primary paraphernalia you need to even act as a king. You need a kingdom, you need a guru, a Purohita, and then you need a deity. So again they worshipped and they said, Brahma, give us deity. So which deity? He said, your deity can be taken. Brahma said, no, how can I give? And they started arguing. Then the discussion of the argument finally reached to a point where they said, why are we arguing? Let us ask Ranganath only, no? What is his desire? He wants to stay with me or go down? So they all went to Brahma, to Ranganath ji, asked, my dear Lord, what is your desire? I feel that you should come down to earth in my kingdom, and Brahma feels that he should remain in Brahmaloka. So Ranganath ji gave a surprising answer. He said, I was only waiting for this moment to go down on earth. I am staying with you only for the time when I will be called down. So my time has gone, time has come to go down. So Brahma surrendered, and immediately Ranganath ji came to Ayodhya. And all Shraddha Deva Manu onwards, Sagar Raja, Dilip Raja, Amshuman, Rashanga, and all people, they worshipped in Ayodhya, Lord Ranganath. Then Ram went to exile. Ram also worshipped Ranganath ji. Then Ram went to Lanka, killed Ravan, and they all came back to Ayodhya, and Bibhishan also was there. Ram was coronated, and then Lord said, Bibhishan said, my Lord, now I am spoiled. Before that I was okay. After I met you, since the time I met you, I got attached to you. And since I met you, there was not a single moment or a day I was away from you. Right through all the times of making plans and war and everything, I was next to you all the time. And now, after a long time, you became the king of Ayodhya. Now time has come to go away, back to Sri Lanka. And now I am going without you. My Lord, I cannot stay without you. Please give me your association. The Lord said, take Ranganath. And he said, if you put him anywhere on the way, then he will, I will, in fact, he is saying he or me, same thing only. He will remain there only. He said, no, I will straight go to Lanka. And he started flying in the sky southwards, and he saw Kaveri river. And he immediately got down to worship Kaveri river. My dear friends, all of you travel in the train many times, and the trains, many rivers cross by. When you go to Wada, Vaitarna river, Surya river also come on the way. Don't forget to mentally worship the river. When Garuda was flying with Amrut Kalasha, he saw Yamuna, he kept the Amrut Kalasha on the Kalia tree, and he took bath and worshipped Yamuna, did Ashman, did Sandhya Gayatri, and then he went back to wherever he wanted to go. So Raja Bibhishan also got down. He put Lord Ranganath on the ground at the bank of Kaveri. He took his bath, he did Achman, he did Sandhya Vandanam, and he came back. The Lord would not get up from there. Sir, I told you, wherever you keep me, I will be there. So then he said, don't worry. The way you have kept me is I can see your throne in Lanka, which you will sit on as a king. I am seeing right now from here. My hand, which is there, is also towards you only, in the mood of Ashirvada. And my feet also are towards you only. So don't worry, I'll be with you only, with my eyesight, with my blessing, and with my feet. And you can come every day by your Ratha, first on the road, then in the sky, then again on the road. You come and worship me before Mangalarti, and then people will wake me up. Anyway, the story goes very long. I'll cut it short here. So first deity was given to Brahma, was Ranganath, and that only came down to earth. It's the most ancient deity on earth. First one to be worshipped is Ranganath ji. Second, Brahma did tapasya also near Jagannath Puri. A place near Jagannath Puri which is 24 kilometers away. What is that place? Alalanath. Okay, there is a big mountain there which is considered not different from Govardhan mountain by our Acharyas Thakur Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. He did tapasya there one time, chanted 10 billion names of Krishna. And he was found many times unconscious, many places in the forest there. There is also Radha Kund replica there. Radha Kund is in Chaitanya Math also. Radha Kund is there in Alalnath also. At the banks of that Alalnath, Radha Kund, Thakur Bhaktisiddhanta was found unconscious many times in ecstasy. This is now, but many thousands of years back, Lord Brahma performed tapasya on that mountain. The Lord was pleased, and the Lord appeared to him. And the Lord said, I am very pleased with your worship and tapa. Make a four-armed deity of mine. Please listen carefully, attentively. With Shankha, Chakra, Padma and Gada, with Kaustubh Mani on the chest, with golden crown, with lotus flowers garland, a garland of Gajamani. There is something called as elephant pearls. A garland of Gajamani pearls, a sacred thread, that is Janiva, Yajnopavita, a diamond ring, Pitambar and ankle bells. The deity should be made by you out of only one stone. And along with this deity, you install deity of Garuda also at the feet. And this place will be known as Brahmagiri because you worship me over here. And later it will be known as Alalanath. How many of you have gone to Alalanath? It's a very beautiful place. Lord Shiva is residing on the head of Alalanath. Bhudevi, Sridevi are next to that. Lakshmi Devi is separately available. And it's a beautiful conglomeration of darshan in one stone. And that is considered to be non-different from Petha or Pravishtavan in Govardhan. That is where the gopis went to see Krishna, searching Krishna, but they saw Chaturbhuj Narayan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in pain of separation from Jagannath ji, whom he would see always playing flute in two hands, as a two-armed Lord, he was unable to bear the separation from that vision of he had. So he went running to that place and he saw Chaturbhuj Narayan. But he didn't see him as Chaturbhuj Narayan, as Radharani did not see him as Chaturbhuj Narayan. When Radharani saw him, he lost his two arms and flute came in his hands. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went running to see in Alalnath, because somebody told him, Lord is there, Lord is there. So he went running. First he saw four-armed Lord, and when we saw with great love and intent, he saw him playing flute with two hands. So our Thakur Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that this place is non-different from Petha of Govardhan. Petha appeared over here. Next, the most interesting part of the story, which is coming at the end of the class, but nonetheless we will try to narrate. As Radhashtami is coming closer, is there any connection with Brahmaji and Radharani? 1 moment, 2 moment, 3 moment, 4 moment, 10 moments, 10 seconds gone. Is there any connection of Brahma with Radharani? Yes, you are right. So Brahma did tapasya. It is said that Brahma, when he got Chatushloki Bhagavat, he got a realization that, two kinds of realizations he got. One realization he got that everybody is suffering in the material world. Everybody is burning with hunger, thirst, and pride, and lust, and anger, and greed. There are so many negative elements here. Birth, old age, disease, and death is there. Shad vikaras are there. The position of a living entity whom I am going to give birth and body in this material world is so precarious. So he developed compassion in his heart. So he went to Jagannath Puri to meet Nil Madhava and Lakshmi, and he expressed his heart. My Lord, you have given me seva and realization, but I have understood that these all people whom I am going to give birth with your grace and 24 elements given by you is simply pain and pain and pain. How do you advise me to help them? So what is a symptom of a knowledge? When you get realization, you get compassion. When you develop compassion for suffering living entities, that means you have developed spiritual knowledge. The symptom of advancement in Krishna consciousness is that you develop compassion for suffering souls. So then there is a great description in Padma Purana and Skanda Purana about the Purushottam Lok Kshetra Mahatmya. And Nil Madhav and Lakshmi Devi, they explain everything to Lord Brahma. And that's how Yamraj comes and Shiva comes and they get established themselves in Jagannath Puri. Second realization the Brahmaji gets because of this knowledge is that the only topmost achievement in life is to achieve the dust of the feet of the devotees of the Lord and the Lord himself. These are two different kinds of realization coming in one heart of Brahma. One is compassion and one is the desire to achieve the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord, his devotees. So he performed 60,000 years of tapa. If you study the whole personality of Brahma, at various scriptures and various stories, you will come to know the essential item in the life of Brahma is tapa only. Anything happens, sit in tapa. Anything happens, sit in meditation. All answers will be available. So he did 60,000 years of tapa to achieve the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna, his devotees, gopis, gopalas, and other devotees. But lo and behold, no response. So he got back in seva. Chalo, theek hai. If I am not getting success now, doesn't matter. I have service to do. He did seva. At the end of the first Satya Yuga of Brahma, the last 60,000 years, again he sat in tapasya. And at the end of the second 60,000, that is at the end of the 1,20,000th year, Lord Krishna appeared to him. He said, Brahmaji, what do you want? So the sloka says here from Padma Puran Varaha Khanda. Purakruta yugasya ante brahmana prartito harihi. So this means somebody else is telling that at the end of the Krita Yuga, Brahma worshipped Krishna. Brahma, Prarthito, Hari. Very simple to understand. And then what is Brahma saying? Mamopari sada tvam hi rasa kidam karishyasi. Now the Lord has appeared to him. And he is asking the Lord, Mamopari, simple, on me, sada, all time, tvam, yani you, rasa kidam karishyasi, please perform your rasa krida on me, Mamopari. And then who should be included in that? Lord Brahma is saying, Sarvabhir Brajagopi bihi. All the Brajagopis should be included. Pravrut kale krithartha krut. By which I will become krithartha. I will become perfectly fulfilled. So Bhagavan Uvacha. This is from Braj Bhakti Vilas, second line. Tato Brahman, hey Brahma. Okay, Tato means okay. So therefore, Brahman, Brajam Gatva, Vrishabhanu Puram Gataha. Go to the Braj. So Brahma said, Braj is very big. Where do I go? He said, go Gatam Vrishabhanu Puram Gataha. Go to Vrishabhanu Pur, where Vrishabhanu Maharaj is ruling, where Radharani stays. Parvato bhavasi tvam hi mama kidam cha pashyasi. You become mountain there. Parvato bhavasi, matlab bhava, parvata. Tvam hi. I will perform my pastimes and you will be able to watch and observe. Yasmad. Therefore, Brahma Parvato Bhuda Vrishabharo Pure Stitaha. Brahmaji went to Vrishabhanu Pura and established himself as mountain. So you can imagine what is the price that you have to pay to achieve the dust of the devotees of the Lord, especially Gopis and Radha and Krishna. You have to become Mr. Nobody. What is the meaning of becoming mountain, becoming stone? Losing every aspect of your personality. Willingly, voluntarily. And when you become mountain, you will do all the things on the mountain. Monkeys will do, all the animals will do, everything you will do. You will put your feet on the... Maharaj is giving lecture in Barsana. He is saying, do you understand? Do you understand and realize you are sitting on the head of Brahma? Aren't you feeling embarrassed? And now you are sitting, at least it is still better position. But when my lecture will end, you will stand and your feet will be on the head of Brahma. Everybody just suddenly realize, my God, there's also a toilet there on the Dangad. We do that business also on the head of Brahma. Imagine, but Brahma is ready. Then Maharaj explained that it is not that till Krishna was there, Lord Brahma remained a mountain. As soon as Krishna left, Brahma also left. Mountain disappeared. No, even today he is interested in taking the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees of Lord Krishna. So even today he is there. And today people like us are trampling upon Lord Brahma's head. That is why it is said, when you go to Barsana and you climb the mountain, don't do any sense gratification. You have to first bow down to Brahma at the first step only and say, my dear Brahma, you are the foremost of Acharya of our Sampradaya. And I have to climb on you with my wretched feet, sinful feet. But please forgive me. I promise you, I only go to see the Lord and Radharani on the mountain and serve you by taking your darshan and no other sense gratification. No lassi, no pakoda, no other things which are available on the mountain. That's why I don't eat anything as I like. I only go to take, because I'm always trying to be aware that I'm walking on Brahma. So I'm going to Dangad, Vilasgad, Mangad, taking darshan. So we have to be conscious that we are getting all these wonderful darshans by Brahma's grace, by who allows us to walk over his head. Now another story is there, that Brahma, Vishnu and Lord Shiva, one time there was a debate in Swargalokas, who is the best sati? Who is the best chaste lady in the whole 14 planets? And Parvati and Saraswati and Lakshmi were thinking, it has to be one of the three of us. It cannot be more. And who else can be? We are the three of best ladies, right? But to their surprise, the three gods, Tridev, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh told, not you, madam. None of you, madam. There's one on the earth. Of course, they were not envious, but they thought, if there is somebody on the earth, then her glory should be revealed to everybody. Should not be hidden. He said, no. Externally said, we want her to be tested. So Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, they went down and they took a form of sadhu and they said, Bhavati Bhikshandehi. So she was serving her husband. She took some time to come out, and she came and said, yes, come sit, I will offer you food. Said, we have one condition. We will accept your bhiksha, we'll eat your bhiksha only if you are nirvastra. You remove all your clothes and serve. So she understood, okay, there is some catch in this. So she said, okay, no problem, you sit, I'll come. She went inside and she brought her husband's kamandal. Who's her husband? Anasuya's husband? Atri Muni. Atri Muni had just finished his worship and created the holy water as Mahaprasadam, which is like a blessing. She brought it, she took the water from kamandal and threw on this triple. As soon as the water touched their body, they became naked, 3 toddling children. And then she removed her clothes. When we are toddlers, you don't have any shame. So she served them. And by that Vatsalya, these 3 children got so attached to Mother Anasuya that they never left. Now suppose you go to some college as a medical examiner, surgical MS examiner. So your wife knows that he'll come after 2 days. No? Friday he will go and Sunday he will come back. 2-day examination is there. So that's how they went to examination, to exam. So you are supposed to come back in 1 or 2 days. But they didn't come only, many months passed by. So these 3 ladies became very upset. All our husbands went down, they never came back again. So they went down. They knew where the house of Atri and Anasuya. And they just begged to Mother Anasuya, now we have understood that you are only the best. But where are our husbands? Please give them back. So she said, they are playing there, just see. So the naked children are toddling and praying, and she also has nice time with them. She said, please, please, please give her husband back. So she again brings that day's kamandal and sprinkles water on them, and they became Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. But they said now, this was like an artificial motherhood. You are not actually born of your womb, right? So now we have become so attached to your Vatsalya that we want to become actual your sons through your womb. So she said, okay, tathastu. So Brahma took birth as Chandra Devata from the womb of Anasuya. So Chandra Devata is Anasuya's son, but is Brahma only, Brahma Amsha. Vishnu took birth from the womb of Anasuya as Dattatreya, the Lord himself. And Lord Shiva took birth as Durvasa Muni. This was a blessing. But she said, still, I am upset with you because you came to test me. So I curse you also at the same time, that you will become stone. So these 3 became stone in Vrindavan Dham. Brahma became stone in Barsana. Vishnu became stone as Govardhan. And Lord Shiva became stone in Nandagaon as Nandishwara. And who established them? It is explained in Devi Bhagavat that one of the Treta Yuga, in one of the incarnations of Lord Ram established these 3 mountains in Braj Bhumi, himself by his own hands. Pratisthapna kiya. Brahmachal, Govardhan or Nandishwar ka. Hari Bol. Barsana Dham ki. Anyway, time is already up, so I will not go to the next topic. But these 4 heads of Brahma in Barsana are called as Bhanugad, where Radharani stays with her mother, father, Mother Kirtida, father Vrishabhanu, elder brother Sridama, younger sister Ananga Manjari. This family of 5, they live in Bhanugad. Then there is Dangad, where there is exchange of dana pastimes. Krishna begging for Rati from Radharani. Then Vilasgad, where wonderful pastimes of Vilas are taking place. And the last and the innermost mountain is Mangad, where Radharani exhibits the highest form of love. The Mahabhav is made of 8 kinds of love. And the topmost of love, kind of love in the 8 is Mana, is anger, love, anger in love. And that Man Lila is performed, the most confidential pastimes of the Lord, of Radharani getting angry on Krishna, is performed on this mountain called Man Mandir. And then there is Dhoni Kund, where the cows of Vrishabhanu are milked. Then there is Vihar Kund, where Shiva comes and becomes a gopi. He dresses himself as a lady. And then there is Pili Pokhar. And then there is Sankri Kor, where the 2 mountains come together, and there is pastimes of Dan Leela. So this is Barsana. And the last thing, Brahma also is involved in stealing the cows, baby cows and baby bulls. In confusion of understanding Krishna as a lord or ordinary boy or what? Is he killed? Did he kill Aghasur? So he came down and to test Krishna, he stole the baby cows and baby bulls. And in the process, he came to a realization that I'm a fool number 1. Now I will come to that point which I began with and end my class. The point is that we all are hankering, if possible, to become Brahma. We all want to become controller. And the topmost position in this universe, in this office, is to become Brahma. But Brahma, after stealing the baby cows and baby bulls, understood that I'm playing with fire actually. I made a big mistake, big aparadh of separating the Lord's devotees from the Lord. I am the cause. I'm supposed to serve the Lord. If possible, assist him in this mission of Braj Bhumi pastimes. I stole the coward boys and the cows and calves and made him go through the pain of separation. So my Lord, tad bhuri bhagyam iha janma kimapitavam yad gopilopi katamangri rajobhisheka. My Lord, I don't want to become Brahma anymore. This is the biggest root of all the problems of pride, is because I am Brahma. I want to make sure that I am not going to become Brahma anymore. I want to take birth as animal, bird, insect, tree, creeper, blade of grass, anything possible. But again, he humbles himself down further and he says, if you feel I am not even qualified to become like this, then a living entity I can't become. So make me the stone, inert stone, on the path which leads to Braja. It's not in the Braja. It's not a part of Braja, but it leads people to Braja. So devotees will walk over me, I'll get their dust at least outside of Braj as an inert stone. But my Lord, please assure at least this to me. And he cried and cried and cried, and Brahma Kunda is formed in Vrindavan. Then he flew from there, he could not pacify himself. He said, I must make sure that I need to make sure that I don't become Brahma again at any cost. So he performed another tapasya there. And that place happens to be, fortunately, Mayapur. Brahma cried in Vrindavan, created Brahma Kunda, again flew on Rajamsa and got down in Mayapur. And said, Abhi, do I have to do long tapasya here? Till I get my answer and confirmation. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared at the end of the tapa of Brahma in Mayapur. And Brahma said, please confirm that I am not going to take any position, any authority in my next birth. The Lord said, okay, I guarantee you, you will become a Mlecha as Haridas, where you will be trapped in two complicating things. You will be born in Muslim family, but you will chant my holy name, so Muslims will call you as kafir, outcast. कि मुसलमान होके हिंदू धर्म का नाम लेता है भगवान का. And Hindus also will look down upon you because you are a Muslim but chanting our holy God's names. From both sides you will be condemned. So no respect for you, but you will be able to chant the holy name and you become Namacharya. That time Brahma became fully pacified. He went back to Brahmaloka, did some duty. Then Kali Yuga came. He took birth 35 years before Lord Chaitanya as Haridas Thakur. So what is the last thing that we have to carry home is the mood of Brahma. You want to become Brahma and Brahma wants to become a Kita or insect. So you may think from here how wonderful, but if you go there, look at his consciousness. From that highest position he is thinking, I want to become an insect in Braja. That is my aspiration. That is my goal. That is my fruit of my tapasya, that I want to become insignificant entity, unknown to anybody in Braj Bhumi, so that I can always serve you and your devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. I don't think there's time for question answers. Time is up. Okay, so let us join Kirtan. Pray to the Lord sincerely to allow us to be engaged in His service and follow our rules and regulations and beg for the kindness and mercy of the Lord. Hari Bol. You'll sing? Who's supposed to sing? Yes, sing. Prabhuji is a great singer. Sing. Prabhuji, गाओ. वो आके मुझे बोलते मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ.